You guys can see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful. In order for people to understand that they're going to make money from your service, they have to see that the leads are coming in. They have to see that they're going to actually be speaking to these leads. So let's just call this connections. Connections. And then they have to feel that they're going to convert these leads, right? You have conversions. This is the purpose of the presentation, because from a prospect standpoint, if they feel like, okay, whoever I'm speaking to JT on a sales call, and JT, I have 100% confidence that JT is going to have 1 to 200 people coming in. Let's call it 100 for easy math. 100 people are going to come in from he's got the advertising systems in place to generate 100 leads. I've got no doubt around this. Okay. Of these 100, I feel like I'm going to be able to speak to, let's call it 25 that are solid. Yeah. I've got 100% confidence I'm going to be speaking to 25 people. And then of those 25, I am 100% confident that I'm going to close 5, right? Whatever, fake numbers, but you guys get the point. If the prospect sees this and they say, yep, I have zero doubt around 100 leads coming into the pipeline, I have zero doubt around me being able to speak to 25 of those people, and those 25 are quality, and then I have zero doubt around me being able to close 5 of those, that is enough, unless there's something else going on with the prospect. Like from a service standpoint, this is enough for the prospect to close the call. And what I'm seeing a lot of you guys do, almost all of you, when you're presenting this, you're not giving the prospect confidence around the fact that you're going to be able to generate 100 of these leads. And then you're not giving the prospect confidence, a lot of you guys are missing out on this, around the fact that they're going to be able to speak to 25 of these that are going to be quality. And then weekly calls can be used to leverage the conversions. So when you guys are pitching the presentations, let me zoom out here. Basically, what I would like to see on the presentations from a structure standpoint is you guys have an overview of the system. This is like your first slide, right? Just overview. And then from there, you're talking about those 3 pillars, which is how you generate leads, how you're going to get them connected to these leads. My pen's fucked up, but you guys get the point. And then how, or the fact that they will close them, the conversion rate. And then after that, you have pricing. This is really all you're doing on the presentations. And 90% of you are fucking up one of these 3 pillars. You're either fucking up leads, you're fucking up the fact that you're going to get them connected with the leads, or you're not framing the weekly calls or whatever else other slide you guys have as a way that their conversion rate is going to go up. So an example of this, I think everybody knows how to pitch leads, but an example of connections could be a slide about the automations that are in place to ensure that the lead and the client are going to be connected. All right, we're going to send the client a text with leads information. We're going to send the lead a text with the client's information. We're going to have you guys call each other. We're going to send a personalized evergreen video to the lead with your face on it. We're going to leave a voicemail drop to the lead. We're going to have all these different ricochets in place that ensure connection. So of these leads that you know we're going to bring you, because we just explained why we're bringing you leads, you have no doubts about actually speaking to them. Yeah. And then how you could pitch this on the weekly calls is in your discovery questions. I want every single one of you guys to be asking them what their close rate is on leads. What's your close rate, right? Because you're going to have to leverage this information, because when you're pitching weekly calls, you can say something along the lines of, we're not a company that's just going to leave you on your own to do this, et cetera, et cetera. We want to make sure that the communication's in place, because you mentioned earlier that you have a 30% close rate on leads, right? And what we want to do on our communication calls is ensure that if we're sending you 100 and you're speaking to 25, you're able to actually close 30%. So we're going to have communication in there so we can assist you with what you're doing with these leads, how you're following up with them, what you're saying to them, etc. Right? And if we're doing all that, do you think that you're going to maintain this 30% close rate? Right? Now, I can articulate that significantly better than what I just did, but the point is you're leveraging that last slide to give the prospect confidence that they will actually close these leads. Does this make sense there? It's super basic, but I keep seeing this as an issue when I review sales calls. And then at the end, you just have pricing. Yeah. And then, by the way, when you guys are doing objection handling, it's one of 90 for 95, 90% of the time, it's going to be one of these three areas that people why they don't close. They either don't think you're going to get the leads, and that could be related to a million different things. They have a limiting belief around online leads. They've tried this in the past, and that's given them a shitty belief, right? That's an example with leads. Or connections, right? They don't think that they're going to actually speak to these leads. They've tried Facebook in the past, and they could never get in touch with anybody. Or conversion rates. They've tried leads in the past and they can't close them because they suck at sales, right? It's one of these three areas that's preventing the prospect in their minds from saying, yes, I will make money from this. Yeah. Or it's pricing. 99.9% of the time, it's not actually going to be a pricing issue because if it, like, if they're making money from this system, which is just leads to conversions to closes, they'll be making, the price will justify itself. Does this not make sense to anybody? Wonderful. That's really all I've got. Everyone's fucking this up, so I felt it needed an explanation. Who has questions?
Oh, Zach, so
Tell
you
me.
said in the middle we can do like a funnel or something so they can like a picture of a funnel so they know that the leads will turn into people they can talk to. Like, how does that
I,
picture look? Or,
if I was making a presentation, I would have the overview of the system. I would have the slide with all of the advertisements, and then I would have a slide about connections. And I would basically just have examples of how we're going to get the leads connected to you and you connected to the leads. Ishmael phrased it perfectly. It's just different ricochets. You can fucking put down a list of your ricochets. You don't even need screenshots. I would suggest doing screenshots, but like that's what that middle section is. It's how we're going to get you connected with these leads.
Zach, can you explain ricochets? Because you're saying that, and it ricocheted
Yeah.
past them. Yeah, like a Donald
Yeah.
Trump.
Nice. So this is what I mean by that. You have leads info, right? The lead comes into, we'll just call this like our ecosystem, whatever. Yeah. And you have the lead and you have the client, your client, right? That you're doing service for. I need to get a new fucking pen. New client. Yeah. Now, previously to now the client enters into your ecosystem as soon as they buy your service, right? The lead is still outside of it until they click on the ad and fill out the form. And now they enter into this ecosystem, right? And what we want to do is we want to create as many touch points as possible to connect the lead with the client, right? And this might look like an SMS, right? And you can send an SMS to the client. You can send an SMS to the lead with the client's information and the client with the lead's information. You could do a call, right? And you could call the client where they press one to connect to the lead, and you can call the lead where they press one to connect to the client. You could do an evergreen video. This would just go to the lead, but this is basically a video that your client records one time and says, "Hey, I saw that you reached out about some roofing services in the Northdale area. Just sending you this video so I can put a face to the name, but I would love to help you out. I've been in business for over 30 years. We've got 100,000 five-star reviews on Google, blah, blah, blah. Here's my number. Please reach out anytime. I would love to just answer some questions and tell you how the process works. You can leave your credit card at home. I'm just here to help the community out. And in turn, business comes back to me. So reach whatever, right? Whatever the copy is. Now, these are three examples. We're going to set up, and we already have all these and some other ones in place, but this is what I mean by ricochet. They're just opportunities for the lead and the client to connect. Yeah. And JT, to answer your original question, a picture of this, but prettier, could be the slide in the middle,
got
assuming
it.
you're on the
Okay,
retainer offer.
got it. So that could be the picture. And you also said like for the like to try to convince them they'll increase their conversion rate is for the weekly calls? Like, how do I explain that, like that part?
Not I wouldn't pitch them on increasing conversion rate. You're not a sales coach to these people. It's merely we want to have as much communication with you as possible because you said your close rate is 30%, right? What I want to do is I want to make sure that we're doing everything that we can on our end to make sure that you're speaking to all of these leads so that conversion rate maintains at 30%, right? You can articulate it in 1,000 different ways, write it down. I'm not saying pitch with the script. This is actually another point that I want a lot of you guys to do. Write down a presentation script. Don't fucking use a script. But when you write it down and you articulate it, you're going to learn how to structure your words. You're going to learn what to say before something else. You can read off that script and record yourself reading it off. It's a good way for you to sound more competent and literally increase your competence around the presentation. Yeah. So JT, and this was for everybody on the call, because I know so many of you guys ask me, how do you say this? What should I say here? How do I phrase it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Write it down. And if you're like, I don't like this, rewrite it and just put that process on repeat until you're like, yeah, this is kick ass. And then post it in school, post it in WhatsApp, and ask one of the coaches to review it. Right? Like, don't just sit there and be like, oh, I don't know what to say, so I'm just going to sound like a fucking retard on my sales calls. Learn how to articulate your words. Yeah. And you do that by just articulating it and recording yourself saying it and then making adjustments. Or you can not do that and continue sounding like a retard. But every single sales call I've reviewed, you guys sound absolutely retarded. And we could tell you what to say because we've told you what to say 1,000 times, yet you still don't practice. You just show up to these sales calls with your dick hanging out. And you look absolutely retarded. So write it down. Don't pitch with the script, but that's how you increase articulation. Alonzo.
Yeah, so you're saying that we can add 3 more slides to our presentation for each one of these pillars that you are talking about?
You already have these 3 slides. You're just not framing it properly, right? This center slide, this center slide right here. Yeah. The
I can see it.
connections. Oh, well, the center slide, the connections. You guys might not have
Yeah.
that, right? But like previously it was your funnels, right? It's just like the core of what your service is. Like you generate leads, you connect the leads to the client, and then the client closes them. If those 3 things are happening, the client is making money. So your presentation needs to show the prospect, your future client, that those 3 things will happen. And that's how you have to structure the sales presentation. Does that make sense?
Okay,
So
so
I'm not saying
what resources do we need? I mean, in regards to photos of the funnels, just texts, or it can be just like say it verbally.
share my screen again. You can do it a million different ways, man. You can do it a million different ways. Like you could basically do this. You can put text here. You can put text here. You can do a line. You can have a circle and you just say that this is the ecosystem. You explain to the client, you explain to the prospect, like, so when we bring you on board into our system, you're going to enter into this ecosystem. And what we're going to do is we're going to then run the marketing that we just talked about. And we just showed you how we're going to generate 100 to 200 of these leads. And we're going to bring these leads into our ecosystem. And now once you're both in our ecosystem, here are all the things that we're doing. And this could be pictures. This could be, so this could be like screenshots. This could be curated pictures. This could just be text. Just make it look good and professional. But here are all these things that we're going to do on our end to make sure that you, as our client, and the lead, the people that you want to turn into your clients, are connected and have conversations so you guys can ultimately end up closing them and making more money at the end of the day. That's the slide, right?
Okay.
How you visualize that for somebody is completely up to you. You could copy and paste this for all I care. But like make it a little bit better looking, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Make sense?
Yeah, sure, makes sense.
Dennis,
And
Alonzo,
and
finish. Yeah.
yeah, the call that we had yesterday, Loom didn't record what you said. So can you please like say the script? Like how would you say it? Because I don't have the recording. Loom didn't record the audio. Can you say the script like?
I'll send
No.
you a voice note.
Okay.
I'll send you a voice note later. Yeah. Dennis.
You said the first thing is leads, so how can we show them that we can deliver those leads?
It's already done, man. Like that slide is beautifully laid out. It's literally just a compilation picture of all the advertising.
Okay, and because I had a situation, John touched on that today. He asked you, but
Yeah.
the guy I was using number 67, like 67 leads per $1,000 on Facebook. But he said he worked with the agency in the past or with some company. They spent he paid them $1,600, and they just for some reason split it to Facebook and Google, and they've been able to deliver like 5 leads per month. And he said he signed a contract for like 4 months, and after that he quit because they overpromised. And he said it was Facebook and Google. So I was talking about 67, and I was trying to know the metrics, what they did, why they didn't work out, all of that. And he said he don't know. That's why he quit with them. And I didn't know what to say. And then he asked if those leads are guaranteed, like if I guarantee those leads. And I was like, I didn't know much what to say, so I tried it to deflect it somehow. And I was trying to get a number from him, like the minimum number that he would be comfortable with, and maybe put it as a guarantee. So let's say he would say, I
No,
know,
no, no.
20 or yeah, I did not did this, but he said he didn't even answer that question properly, but I just wanted to answer something. So I'm just asking how can I prove that I
Well,
will be able
put
to
it.
deliver those?
You guys put too much on yourselves when you're on these sales calls. If the prospect is saying some bullshit, put it back on the prospect. Like, I'll give you an example. If you're saying that Facebook ads doesn't work, or you tried it in the past and it's not working, what were your impressions? I don't know. Okay. What was your form fill out rate? Well, I don't know. What was your click through rate? Well, I don't know. What was your cost per lead? Oh, it's X. Like, okay, well, all these other metrics, and you just keep naming a whole bunch of metrics, all these other metrics play into that cost per lead. So if you don't know what those were, like, of course you don't know what those were. You hired somebody else to do it. They obviously don't know how to use those metrics, because if they did, they would drive that cost per lead down.
Mhm.
So
Okay,
it's
so you
unfortunate that you worked with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, but as long as you know what those metrics are and you understand how to interpret them and how to change the ads and what in the ad will change each individual metric, then you're able to drive that cost per lead down. And that's what we do. So you just, like, I hate to say it, it sucks, but you just worked with somebody who doesn't know what they're doing.
okay, just to make sure I understand it, you just ask them questions, and they usually don't know because it was on the company side, and then you just throw it on them and just say they were running the ads like badly, or you work with someone that don't know how to run ads.
Basically. Yeah,
Okay, okay, and you are being competent in this because you are like acting smart, or you are saying those words that shows them that you know what you are talking about.
yeah, literally. That's it.
Okay, and when it goes to the guarantee, you said like never guarantee any leads.
Look, the problem with the guarantee, first of all, you don't need one, because every single one of you cunts has been on a sales call and they said, oh, I need to think about it. And you're like, oh, but I have this guarantee where XYZ happens if this doesn't happen, blah, blah, blah. And they still tell you no. Right. So guarantee is not going to help you sell. It's much better. What does help you sell is not having a guarantee, because having a guarantee, you're not able to showcase competence. If you don't have a guarantee, you can sit there and say, look, I don't guarantee anything. Like, I know the leads are going to come in. I know we're going to get you connected to the leads and we're going to send you over the leads. If you can't close them, that's on you. I'm not going to guarantee that you're making $100,000 a month additional from this, because I don't know what your sales looks like. Yeah. And frankly, like there are a lot of people out here that are offering these guarantees. And the reason why they're doing that is because they don't know what they're really doing. And they have to give the clients the confidence, hey, even though this guy's new into the industry, even though this guy doesn't really know what he's doing, he's got this guarantee. So I feel okay and I'll close with him. We don't have to do that. Like we know what we're doing. We get results. We don't need a guarantee. Yeah. That will build more trust with the client than some bullshit generic guarantee that you whipped up taking a shit on a random Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Leo.
I was watching the new Outreach Odyssey or something like that, and I think his name is Frank. He says solo is a saturated niche and it's hard to get results. It's really hard. So I was wondering, do I still say between 50 and 200 leads, or should I say like a lower number?
Okay. So in the outreach, when he's talking about saturation, he's talking about reaching out to solar. I was coaching somebody in the real estate space like a year and a half ago, and he was complaining that he wasn't able to book in any calls because it was a saturated niche. I said, send me your list of not interested people that you called, and I was able to book people in. Same fucking script, same leads, same industry, same time, just a different person. It's not that it's saturated, it's that you're lacking the skills to take advantage of the market.
No, I mean like generating leads. Like he specifically said, if you get a client on solo, it's great because they are high ticket, but it's hard to get them results.
It's based on framing, right? And it's based on expectations. You have to understand, 50 to 100 is bullshit. What I mean by that is if they closed 50 deals, do you know how much you would have made them?
Millions, probably.
Yes. Right? Maybe not millions, depending on where it is. Yeah, you could tell
Yeah.
them 10. It sounds good. If you get them an extra job per month, would they stay with you?
Yeah.
There we go. So that's a whole focus. They need to close
Okay.
1 to 2 of the deals. They are happy with you. That's the big focus.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, it's not, I'm going to send you 50, 100. It is from what I send, you do your work properly and we'll work with you on that. And just call everybody, you will get more people. Also, when it comes to solar, you need the right expectations because they are built like solars, they call people, they go door knocking, they're familiar with the process. Right. So you have to make sure you do that right. It's the expectations that's the biggest thing there. Zach, I'll let you, Karen.
I'm basically done.
Okay, now just before Zach finishes off, and then I'm going to break it down for all of you guys. Do you guys have any more questions for Zach? Wonderful. Anybody have any questions for me before I move further on the breakdown of these presentations?
Yeah,
Do you want me to talk about it later, or you want to talk later or right now about switching niches?
Okay, quickly talk to me.
Yeah, so I want to switch to kitchen remodeling because I'm not too familiar with gym niches and like it's not something I'm interested in.
Okay, wonderful. Switch. You need onboarding changed, the packet?
Yeah.
Kitchen or bathroom?
Kitchen. You say kitchen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 24 hours, please.
24 hours, done.
Okay.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now,
Bro, can I work in different niches in real estate, like commercial real estate or new construction homes?
I was going to let Zach handle that. You can specialize. You just have to understand the differences between it. Would I recommend it? Not necessarily, but it can work to your advantage on the basis that you get results. But you have to understand that commercial is very different to residential, like completely.
So if I'm calling a prospect and he says, no, I don't work in residential real estate, I work in commercial real estate, or
No.
what should I say?
Then I would only focus on commercial. I wouldn't touch anything else.
Okay, so if he says I work with new construction homes, thank you, bye. Nothing else.
No, if you want to do commercial, only speak to people about commercial. So like only do commercial.
Ah,
So you can subniche,
okay.
do that, and then learn it. Make sense?
But how would I find in realtor.com? I found the leads.
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Let me
Thanks.
just double check for you. Yeah, you can. It's one of the filters. Give me 2 seconds. Let me just double check that. Agent. No, let me try Zillow. Give me 1 sec, guys. Yeah, but slow verification process. Wonderful. Okay. Jamber, are you part of the acceleration? The aggressive training?
Yeah.
Have you had any calls?
Yes, today I have one with Jess.
How was it?
Great.
Wonderful.
It was about the discovery part, and I think I fuck it up sometimes, so I'm glad that you added.
Okay, very good. So now, let me just share my screen and get a presentation for you guys to see. So can you guys just confirm that you can see this?
Yes.
Perfect. So let me just open up a presentation template. There we go. So we're going to be going through over here. Just edit this. We're going to be going through the different stages of the presentation, and we're going to be talking and understanding it. Right. Oh, so let me just plug. Okay, I'm turning off my camera because I need one of these adapters here. Wonderful. So, boom. You guys can see all this?
Yes.
So we're going to go over the first few slides, right? Now, this is your home, right? This is just the first page, bullshit page, right? Yeah, let me get examples for you guys over here. So this over here is this page, right? So that's what we're going over here. Now, more often than not, geniuses like to say, we are the best, right? We are a star. Do not say that. You can go down that route, but it's not necessary and it's very bullshitty, right? What you need to be explaining to them is that you are consistent. That is what you specialize in. Consistency, long term, right? Let's imagine that their targets are adding 40 deals, right? By the end of the year in order to grow their business. Janber, how many are we going to offer? How many would you offer them? Or what would you say to them? I'm telling you, yeah, if we can get another 40 deals by the end of the year, we're very happy. What are you going to say?
He wants to do 40 deals,
Yeah,
or
add another 40 deals to hit his targets.
okay, so I would offer him this retainer offer to make him as many opportunities as possible to close those 40 deals.
Go further.
I will be bombarding him with the leads so he can close those 40 deals.
No. We will realistically do anywhere between 15 to 25. That's what we're going to try to do. Right? That's what we're going to try to add. Why? Because we are in business. Now, someone give me a niche.
HVAC.
HVAC.
So HVAC is over here. Now, guys, how much do you bring a client when, like, what are their margins on a deal?
20% usually.
Okay, put that in a dollar figure, please.
$1,000.
right? Now, let's say, okay, how many deals typically do your clients want to do per year?
10 a month.
Okay, we're going with 10 per calendar month. Let's say we've got 6 months till the end of the year, so we're just talking to them about 6 months. That's 60 deals. All right. Now, I've got 6 months with this client. That means I'm going to charge my upfront. If I was John Burr, I wouldn't have the balls to go over 2,000. No offense, John Burr. Right? Then I've got my 800 retainer. And that's based on the offer that we've provided with you guys. Now, 800 times by 6 is 4,800 plus the initial 2,000. We're going to charge him 6,800. Right? Now, let me just delete this. But if you guys lose me at any point or you get confused, just let me know. Right?
Yes, Ishmael, just quick question. You said over 6 months, but still that means that we are signing the contract for only 1 month.
No, again, no. We're talking about targets over the next 6 months.
Okay.
Right? So you guys had said 60 deals. Now I'm not going to tell the fuck I'm going to get him 60 deals. Fuck that. Right? I'm charging him 6,800. So I'm going to think to myself, you know what? I'm going to say, yeah, we should be able to do a dent of about 30 deals. Right? I won't be able to get you the 60. I don't want to say that. Maybe we will, but I don't want to say that. What I want to say is I'm going to get you 30. Now, when it comes to the end of the negotiation, they're going to look at it. Cool. This twat has said 30 deals to me. Hopefully it's better, but worst case 30 deals. And I'm paying 6,800 plus 6,000 on ads. So that's 12,800. And I'm making back 30,000 on the low end. For me, that's good business because that's reoccurring business. On top of that, there's mention of referrals down the line on how we bring up the fact that they get referrals from the business that we bring them. The fact that it's repeat business in HVAC every year. The fucking aircon breaks when the fucking heat goes up, right? Plus the leads that don't convert, we're going to turn them into a text campaign potentially in the future, as well as email campaign. And then from the eyes of the prospect, cool, I'm going to pay these twats this much money. They're going to make me this much money. And it's a lot more realistic than them saying to me, they're going to do my whole business, right? Because from the eyes of the prospect, right? So I'm a HVAC owner and I'm on $200,000. Let's just say I'm making that per year. Up or down doesn't really matter. And I'm struggling to hit my target of, let's say, 400,000. Now, guys, sorry, give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Hey, I'm on a call. Can I call you after? Thanks. So, guys, honestly, let's imagine, right? You are the prospect. You are struggling. You've tried many things, different agencies, different ways to double your business. And then Jean Burr says to you, or Dennis says to you, yeah, I can do it. I can do what you haven't been able to do. It's easy for us. Are you going to think, what a cunt? Do you guys get my point?
Yes, I understand.
Right? When you come across and say, oh, I can do everything that you haven't been able to do thanks to me, you'll hit all of your targets. It's not believable. You sound like an asshole more often than not. And then that's when you're throwing guarantees left, right, and center. Oh, we can definitely do this, because you're over fucking promising. And then you won't be able to deliver. And then you're going to look like an idiot. Make sense? So we do not tell them on this page that we will do everything. We are not Buzz Lightyear. We are more like Andy or the other cowboy guy who loses the girl, right? We're not a fucking spaceman, right? That is the first page. We are setting realistic expectations, making us believable business people, right? Now,
Ishmael, I have a question on that.
John Burr.
Yes, so if his goal is to hit 60 deals, in this case, you just told us. So I'm gonna say to him, okay, we are able to bring you 30,
No. Okay, so
but
This is a little bit more complex than simple maths. I'm not saying be a dumbass and divide it by 2. I'm saying look at it from this point of view. What do I charge? What is the value? Right? Now, Janber, if I was to say to you, if you put $1 into this machine, it's going to take out $3. Would you do it?
Yes.
Wonderful. So that's the maths that we need to take into consideration. Because that's on the basis that they believe that you'll be able to do that at a worst case. And if things go better, results are even like the technically ROAS, right? Or the ROI is even better. Would they work with you?
Yes, they would, obviously.
Right? And now what's more realistic? Yes, I'm going to make ×3 of what you pay me, or I'm going to make ×10.
×3, obviously.
Right? I'll give an example, and we're going to put JT. JT, I'm using you as an example. JT, you've been speaking with a lot of real estate agents of the past. Have you spoken to broke fuckers?
Yes.
Did you tell the broke fuckers that going from broke, they're going to make 200,000 working with you? Have you told any of them that?
I didn't say money, but I did promise like a lot of deals
Okay,
closed.
JT, what happens when deals fucking close?
You'll get commissioned, and yeah, they'll get more money.
Yeah, you're promising them fucking money. Is it believable that you're going to take a broke motherfucker who's been broke for the past 5 years and all of a sudden they're going to make 200,000? No,
They don't believe it works. Yeah. So
because it's not fucking realistic. Right? Because the expectations aren't set. And while you can excite them all you want about how good everything is, they're going to look at it from a different lens. Right? And the older your prospects are, the more realistic they will be. Right? Because they've lost the Peter Pan in them. They've lost that fucking sign of hope of what life is. The tax man's hit them a few too many times for them to give a shit anymore. Right? So over here, we're able to frame ourselves. Look, I don't really give a shit about you. This is what I can do for your business. You either like it or you don't. Hakuna Matata. I'm not going to get excited. This is just a business. Right? If you want excitement, call your wife, bring it to my bedroom. And you stay outside. Right? This is business. We're not changing people's lives. It's just one business that supplements another business. Dennis, did you put your hand down to put it back up?
Yes. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt you, but this is when we start presenting the presentation that right away from the first slide we are breaking down the math.
No. You need to understand the maths. You need to understand it in your niche. This is basic fucking knowledge that you need to have. Right? This is what you need to understand. And slide 1 is all about keeping things nice, keeping things casual. I'm not a game-changing blah, blah, blah. Right? For the bulk of you, that is not who your prospects are. They won't respond very well to that because they've heard it 1,000 times.
Okay. Yeah, today I had a call. I believe I was doing math over Excel and I was showing it to the prospect, and the numbers that we've come up with was profit for him if we was like $3,800, which I believe sound like believable or achievable. Is there like any minimal number that, because I was counting with 67 leads, should we count with less or with more?
I do not know the maths that you did. Right, so it's case by case in the maths. Do not bring up the maths because we're going through the presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do it another time. Now, we move over to slide 2. Right now, in my opinion, where the fuck is it? In my opinion, now how you do a presentation doesn't really matter. But in my opinion, this is slide 2. Right? So over here, we're now on slide 2. This is a nice, simple way of just saying A to Z. Right? Now, if this was a tourist bus, what you're telling them is we're going to hop on here. We're going to drive for a bit. We're going to hop off. You're going to see all the fucking pictures, take nice camera pictures, right? Going flash, flash, flash. We're going to hop back on. We're going to go. Then you're going to go home. And you're going to have your fucking photos, right? When you're doing a tourist bus, before the bus tour starts, you don't start telling them about everything you're going to see before you see it. Correct? Right? They're going to give you a brief overview. And when you arrive at each historical site, because you're a boring tourist, right? That's when they're going to talk to you about all the details. So this over here is an overview, right? So it's an overview of the process. Now, what you need to understand is, so we have ads, then we have leads, then we have close. So over here, we're bringing up two main points, which is the hypertesting for the benefit of the algorithm to beat the market. Market. One big word here is it's all about attention. Right? We are then going to get the leads and provide them with the leads and maximize their success. And this is retrospective to what Zach's been discussing with the ricochets. If anyone doesn't understand the ricochets, I'll show them to you later. Or we'll break it down later. Then we're then going to tell them that the next aspect of this, once you get it, we're going to close deals. You're going to close deals. We're going to work very fucking hard. You are going to work hard, right? And then we are going to close. Now, this is one mistake that so many of you fuckers make, which is honestly why a bunch of you will sign clients because of this, and then you won't be able to succeed because of this, right? When people say to a client or indicate this is easy, all done for you, right? That's where you fuck up. When you say to someone, this is the easiest way, and it's a get rich quick, and we're going to hit all the targets, everyone where send is going to close, you don't have to do much work. You sound like an idiot, because that is bullshit, right? What you tell clients is, I'm going to work fucking hard. You're going to work fucking hard. We are going to hit targets. Right? In what country does somebody have a business and they're hopping on calls? And in many of these niches, the intellectual buyers, they are comfortable with working hard. They've been doing it for a while and they want more leads so that in turn, they want to work harder. Right? So you need to highlight that you're going to be working like a dog and they're going to be working like a dog, and this process works. And then we go into more detail. Right? Which brings us over to slide 3. Now, in slide 3, we discuss the hypertesting. Now, whether this is Facebook, whether this is Google, we're going to explain to them your average competitor, all right? The average person is running anywhere between 3 to 8 ads. Per calendar month, we're testing 100 to 200 ads. What that means is, when it comes to people's eyes, right? They see on their phone, right? On their phone, they see 200 variations of a person's business per month. It's not the same picture they keep seeing. It's loads of different pictures, loads of different offers, loads of different designs, loads of different ads. And what we're achieving is a low cost per lead. See that automatically zoomed in. Low cost per lead, because we are giving the algorithm shit to work with. We're giving it the juice. We're not pretending that we're smart. We're letting the multi-billion-dollar company do its work for us. Right? By achieving a low cost per lead, we get more leads. Right? Whether it's on Google, whether it's on Facebook, that's what we want. We want high click-through rates and high form fill out rates. Now, who doesn't know what a CTR is? Okay. Well, CTR is nice and simple. Someone sees the ad. Do they click on it? Now, based on that, let's say 1,000 people see the ad go through their phone. Let's say 100 people click on the ad to go further to find out more. You have a 10% click-through rate. Does that make sense? Right? So that's how that works there. Now, the better the ad, the higher the click-through rate. The worse the ad, the fucking lower. If it looks like dog shit, no one's going to click on the ad. If it is not remotely related to your niche, and that's something so many people do when they fuck up on ads, right? Let's say, as an example, we've got Dennis running ads for HVAC, and he's got pictures of houses, right? Trust me, people do this and they do worse. Your click-through rate is going to be terrible because no one understands why on earth that happens. I was consulting for a business today, or like secondhand consulting for a business, and their ads did not look like ads. It was just strange. And I had to break that down for them. So that's the click-through rate. Now, the next thing is the form fill-out rate, which we don't always get the data for it. Form fill-out rate. For example, Facebook does not tell us this. But what this means is, so someone has clicked on the ad. Did they fill it? And exact same way to calculate it. If we have 1,000 people click on the ad and only 100 people fill it out, that gives us a 10% form fill out rate. What does that tell us? All right. That tells us that our forms are fucked up. Our funnel is fucked up. So whether you're using Facebook Inform, whether you're using a funnel, that's fucked up. So that's what you guys need to understand is the whole purpose. So as an example, let's imagine that you have a 5% click-through rate and a 25% form fill out rate. Your first issue, now granted 25% is good. That's a good form fill out rate. 5% is your issue there. Now, many people often think that their ads are doing very well because they've got a 30% click-through rate, which is like amazing. But then they're not getting many people filling out the forms. What that is people don't like the funnel or the form. Now, when it comes to an inform, it's probably because there's 4 or 5 layers of questioning and you're trying to qualify everyone through all of your questioning. Yes, you may get better leads, but you're going to get less leads coming through. Right? So those are the things that you need to consider. And that's why we're hyper testing. We're hyper testing funnels. We're hyper testing ads to maximize the click-through rate by giving the algorithm a lot to work with and by maximizing by giving it loads of different styles of forms so we can figure out what is getting the most amount of people to click on the ads, what is getting the most amount of people to fill out the forms. Once we do that, we've got the leads. Now, any questions there? Powell, do you understand this? All right, explain it to me.
Well, essentially, we're trying to run as many ads as possible to try to fail and to try what is working, what is not. And then we make sure by conducting this action to
Yes.
pass the right ones to the client so he's happy with results.
Yes, or we'll be using all of this with the clients. But now, one big fuck up that so many fucking retards do, right? I see this so often, and every time I see it, I either laugh or I just shit on the person, right? So let's Amadeus, I'm using you as an example, right? Amadeus says, I'm going to test 3 ads. But what Amadeus doesn't know is he doesn't know dog shit about ads. He doesn't know how people react. He doesn't know the mass psychology of an entire nation or entire like geographical point. He also doesn't know the niche. He doesn't know the office. He doesn't know the imagery. Common sense dictates if I have 100 ads running versus I have 3 ads or 8 ads, which one is going to get a higher success rate? 100 ads. right? Because I've done this one 12 times more, or this one I've done it 33 times more. So the success is in the hyper testing, and that's what we're breaking down to the clients, but not going anywhere close to that much detail. But that's just so that you guys can understand what we're doing. Right? Dennis?
The hyper testing is in the first 2 weeks, or we are doing it through the whole month?
No, you're doing it forever until you get the cost per lead that you want. It can happen that within the first week, fuck, you've achieved it, you've got it, and as long as you have it, you don't need to test. But as long as you don't have it, you're hyper testing. You're bringing up that click-through rate. You're bringing down, no, and you're bringing up the form fill-out rate. Realistically, you can hyper test for the form fill-out rate and get that done within the first week, 10 days, right? And then you're just focusing on the click-through rates. But then it depends on how you do the ads that will decide how that happens.
Okay, but overall, your goal is just to hyper test the ads, find the winners, keep those winners, and keep hyper testing to find more.
Look, once you have an average cost per lead that works, then you don't have to give a shit. You just have to check it every once in a while because leads will keep coming through.
Okay, so if I understand it correctly, if you find ad that has like solid cost per lead, you just don't touch it, or you still like
leave the fucking campaign alone. Leave it alone because it's doing its fucking job.
Okay, and this is happening on a let's say the whole campaign, or if let's say in the campaign there is a one that has, I don't know, $8 cost per lead.
It's your average. You want to keep testing it to bring your average cost down. But now look, if you don't have a client yet, this will be explained in more we will do it, right? When you have clients, right? So we'll break it down how to do it, and we'll do it with you, so on and so forth. You don't need to worry about that now. You just need to understand it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand and make sure I even know what I'm talking about.
Do you understand the whole concept of hyper testing?
Yes, I understand it now.
Do you understand what we're trying to aim for, or why we're hyper testing?
Yes, to find the winners and find like stable and good cost per lead.
Okay, just remove the word winners because lots of spastic use it. It's a fucking buzzword. Like fuck off from winners, like bullshit, right?
Okay.
You're not trying to find special winners. The reason for it is, because I've seen this so many times. People will achieve a $5 cost per lead on, let's say, an ad set, and they're like, yeah, I've got it, right? These are my winners. And then their Facebook account or the business manager gets shut down, right? And they put these winners back up, so they duplicate it. And guess what happens? They don't have a $5 cost per lead because it's not based on just the ads. It's also based on the algorithm and people's reactions to the ads. When you put ads, the beginning phase of the ads dictates so much. So by proxy, if the right amount of people see the ads and they react to it positively, it's a lot of data that the ad is going to receive that will dictate what will happen for the future of that campaign.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So
yeah.
I do not like the word winner because it doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
It's a temporary winner, right? Like you can do that when you get more complex into ads, but like no, not gonna happen. Like anytime soon for any of you. Right? Because then you're looking into psychology of copy, different types of like distress buying, emotional buying, pain, pleasure, so on and so forth. We're not getting into that, way too complicated. Right? So, any questions on this section? Janber.
Yes, I got a quick question before the sales call. I have in 4 minutes. If with $1,000 ad spend, if the cost per lead is 15.
So, moving forward, we're discussing this part of the presentation. We're not deflecting. We're discussing fucking presentations. Wonderful. Now, over here, does anyone understand what pre-vetted leads are? Right, by the way.
You mean, sorry?
Okay, just a quick note. Do you guys understand why I kicked him out of the call?
It was not related to the topic.
Yes, and everybody here is learning. We're working through something that is not complicated, but you guys need to understand. And the last thing I give a fuck about is one person's specific needs when we're doing this. right? Hojin is trying to learn, and you guys are disturbing his learning by sidetracking, right, Hojin?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Hojin, should we kick out his business partner?
I think you can learn from this too.
Okay. You see, Dennis Hojin is a nice guy, but your business partner is not, right? So now, ricochets. Let's see if you understood that. Claudia, what the fuck is a ricochet? And your buddy to help you is going to be Leonardo. So Leonardo and Claudio work together, collect the fucking brain cells. What are we talking about when we say ricocheting to success?
Ricocheting is, from what I remember Zach saying, is to do with the methods that you can use to send the prospects to the clients that you're working with, like the leads to the clients that you're working with, whether that be through SMS, where you send your client's details to the lead, or you send the lead's details to the client, or you can just get them on a call with each other. And it's just the way that you connect them two together.
Leonardo, you're lucky. That was a very good answer, but do you have anything to
Yeah.
add?
No, I was about to say like the points where the lead and the prospect, like our client, gets in touch with them and they get to not know each other, but
Speak, right?
sorry?
Yeah, so they get to speak. Now,
Yeah.
previously over here, this was us pre-qualifying the calls. So all you guys need here, and granted, none of you are fucking doing it, so we're going to get it done for you, right? Is calls of leads speaking with the clients, calling directly. Hi, I saw your, I just received your text. I'm just giving you guys a call. I'd like to get an inspection done. Or I'd like to you guys to come check out my fucking HVAC unit. Or I'd like to book in an appointment for a med spa. And you need 4 different examples. Now, the best thing is you don't have to pretend to be the business. Now, JT, why do you not have to pretend to be the business here?
Oh, because I can pretend to be the customer, like someone is just
Okay, so you're the customer. Who's the business that you're calling?
a real business. That's
You-
I could just call them and
Booking
pretend to be a customer.
Literally, booking a fucking appointment. Go from A to fucking Z. Right? These are examples of recordings that we've been able to have of what our clients can expect. And over here, this is examples of people filling out the funnels so that you have the data. So people can call in because of A, B, C, D, which are our ricochets that we put in place. And then over here, literally, all you need is first name, last name, email address, zip code. Right? That's all you need. And then over here, you can then discuss again, but now not again, and we're touching on solution selling now, right? Granted, we've been doing it throughout the whole thing, but we're now discussing how by them getting X amount of leads, right? Plus the ricochets. How the fuck you spell ricochets, right? On top of that, the referrals. On top of that, the lifetime value. Here's where you're discussing so many variables that all end up on the solution, right? And of the 30 plus deals, right? The ROI that they're making from these leads and how there is a list. And then you can reactivate the list. Activate via text or via email, so on and so forth. It's just money, right? We're handing you these leads, you make money this way, that way, this way, that way, this way, that way. We can help, we'll charge extra for it, but right now, I don't care about that. What we need is to build up the list. Oh, do you have a list? Yeah, we already have a list as well. Perfect. DR, data reactivation. You can give that to us. We can text it. We don't want to do it in the beginning because our focus is on our leads, and maybe we can do it in the future, so on and so forth. Right? At all points, we are talking about, again, solution. Boom, 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 boom. Right? Moving past that. Weekly calls. This is not, guys, fuck me. If you had a wealth manager and your wealth manager told you, we can meet up quarterly so you can tell me where to invest and what you want me to do for the investments, would you tell the the wealth manager to go fuck themselves. Yes. So when an advertising agency says you can look at our ads and you can tell us what to do, or like we'll tell you our plan and you can tell us if you like it or not, right? Do you come across as fucking competent? No. We are looking to see what you are doing and how we can maximize you closing the leads that get sent your way, right? We are looking to see how you can handle your leads and close at a maximum rate. We're working with many businesses, all with different methods, so we know what works, we know what doesn't work, so on and so forth. So these weekly calls are to maximize the yield, right? To get to, again, the solution, to get to wherever the fuck I wrote 30 deals, right? I wrote somewhere here, right? We're discussing how from the 20 leads that we sent you, we can get 3 closes. Because 3 closes over a period of 6 months equals 18 deals. Remember, you want 30, I'm pushing to get you 18. Do you have time to hop into calls with me weekly to maximize what we can get from the leads that we're working with? Yeah, I can, because it's a lot of fucking money for them. And that's why they're on the call, because they want to work hard to grow their business. Dennis?
So if I understand it correctly, with the record sheets, we are leveraging them with the offer of in the retainer model. Should we add some sort of a slide, graphic, or text in the presentation?
You can. I want to do that for you guys. I'm just way too busy setting up a bunch of other shit for you guys.
Okay, but my question really is, if right now, let's say I have tomorrow 2 calls, I'm not quite sure if I would be able to, I would say, sell it properly. I will probably not mention it. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, you need to, you just, yeah, it's nice and simple. When leads come in, we're going to do lots of things to maximize the results, such as text them your details so they can call you directly. We're going to set it up so that they have a number to call, they have your business information, so on and so forth, making it easier for leads to touch base with you. And on top of that, you're going to get the details of all the leads to touch base with them.
Okay, and all of that is automated?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, funny enough, that wasn't actually that complicated, right? And then we get onto pricing. But pricing is its own fucking beast. We can do another time. Now, does anyone have any questions on what we've discussed today? Yep, wonderful. So, can you start it?
No, because I'm doing something right now.
Okay. Quick questions. Very, very quick. And then apparently I have another call that I'm late for. So, Dennis.
Yeah, just a quick question. You mentioned the weekly calls. Can you just summarize it in like 2 sentences? What should I say? Because I tend to overspeak and it just doesn't sound great.
Yes, you did when I said I'm in a fucking rush. On our weekly calls, we're going to be going through all the leads that have been sent to you and figure out how we can maximize the results that we get from them. We'll go through them one by one to see what you're doing and seeing what more can be done. Next question, Powell.
On the first slide, you said that's showing the numbers that are actually.
No, you need to know the numbers.
No. The thing is, let's pretend that numbers seem to be unconvincible for a customer. Like they seem to be too high, right? So would you lower the numbers just to make it more realistic, even if the first option would be possible, just to pretend that this is achievable?
The less you offer them, the easier it is when you offer them shit and get them results. Because if things are going badly and you've underpromised, you're going to be close. And if it goes better, cool, wonderful. Everyone's fucking happy.
Got you.
Last question, Alvaro.
Yeah, you have said on one slide, we connect the people, the leads can make an appointment.
Yes.
With the med spa. Now, the other day, I don't know who was, maybe Zach or Ethan, talk about we don't do that with med spa. So we
No.
do that or not?
With
do?
MedSpa, it's fully automated. It will be worked with you. It will be automated. So the whole thing there is walk-ins. So it will be people walking into the MedSpa.
Can you rephrase that?
MedSpa is built to be automated, so people from the ad book in to go to the MedSpa.
Okay, but also we proportion the information to our clients so they can call them
Yes.
also, right?
Yes, they will get the details because they're booked in. So when someone books in, they're gonna have the details.
Okay, so just to make it clear, they are gonna be calling these leads, and also the leads can
The leads will be automated to go into the MedSpa on a walk-in basis. In order for that to happen, the leads must hand over information to the MedSpa, and the MedSpa it will be their prerogative what the fuck they do with it. Make sense?
Okay, so the first one to contact the MedSpa is the lead,
Yes.
and
The lead books in.
and then
Yes.
then the MedSpa resolve all the questions.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay, perfect.
Wonderful. Now, guys, I've got another meeting, so I'm going to fuck off in a rush, but we've done our time, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.
Thank you.